A new day, a new clown show. Mark Carney actually decided to show up for once to the House of Commons after being heckled hard at the Pride ceremony. The last time a prime minister got heckled this hard, it ended up with a resignation. Will we be getting an early Christmas gift this year? This will probably be the last time we see Mark Carney in the House of Commons before he heads on his private jet to load up on some of that Normandy butter. And of course, the creme brulee. Can't forget about that. Another $100,000 worth of catering. He's going to be heading to Ireland and France, which looks more like a vacation than anything else. He should be going to the US, not overseas. Speaking of resignations, Justin Trudeau made headlines again, and all I could say is cringe. I have a lot more for you today. Let's get into this report.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I'll be back again.
Since it's Pride Raising Flag Day, I'm going to start this episode off with, remember I told you that Canada is a straight up clown show on a daily basis? We have somebody in committee that says violence against nature are inseparable from violence against humans. One example is climate change is a gender issue, which leads to systemic disadvantage for all women. Did you get all that? Oh man, just wait till you see this. And before I show you this, this is not Saturday Night Live. This is not a comedy skit. This is real life in Canada.
Violence against nature and the climate are inseparable from violence against humans. One example is climate change as a gendered issue, which leads to systemic disadvantages for all women. The final report of the National Inquiry on Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls identified direct links between resource extraction projects like oil pipelines and violence towards Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit. The Alberta MOU and the proposals within the Getting Major Projects Built in Canada paper, which allow the government to bypass protections for the environment, Indigenous rights, and established conventions, are harmful enough without the added insult of our tax-funded support to companies engaged. If we cannot immediately end all new oil and gas extraction in Canada, we must at least end subsidies to the industry, costing us billions of taxpayer dollars.
I'm sorry, but how do you connect all of those things into one? I'm asking for a friend. Can anybody out there explain to me how building a pipeline results in what she just described? When you sit down and write stories, I don't think you could write a story as made up as this one. I want to know what Canadians are thinking about this clip, and there's already a bunch of memes that were created. Check this one out. Or how about this one? So true. Or how about this one? Of course. Yes, of course. Or Chip here says, I need to meet the parents that produced that. And last one, I haven't seen a liberal say something this R since yesterday. It's true on a daily basis. I'm like, it can't get any more ridiculous tomorrow, can it? Well, you just get blown away. Is it just me, or should there just be one flag flown in Ottawa? The Canadian flag. Well, today was the Pride flag ceremony where Prime Minister Mark Carney raised the Pride flag in Ottawa. Just before he raised this beautiful Pride flag, he got heckled, and he got heckled hard. But before we go to Mark Carney, I thought it's no longer the LGBT plus 2Q movement. It got turned into something completely different. Here we have Leah Gazan explain that it's just not inclusive enough. You need to include everybody. Otherwise, you are not inclusive.
When the budget was released, I was shocked to find out that Prime Minister Carney is cutting $7 billion between Indigenous Services Canada and Crown Indigenous Relations. They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent. This is callous. This is callous because the very Liberal government that has stripped organizations of life-sustaining funding.
How dare you, Mark Carney, strip away all that money for MMI ABCD plus 2 plus Q movement. What I can't believe is how she could say this with a straight face.
To deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2SLGBTQQIA+.
I challenge you to say this 3 times in a row perfectly with a straight face. I bet you can't do it. How did Mark Carney do with the MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+? Did he get it correct? Let's find out.
And are serving as mayors, cabinet ministers, senators, premiers. Because again and again, 2S LGBTQI plus people refuse to accept a system that did not see you, hear you, or reflect you. Because brave individuals met discrimination with determination, adversity with resilience, and shame with pride. Now, malheureusement, pas terminé. Nous vivons dans un monde plus dangereux, plus divisé et plus intolérant.
Every single speech, he has, the world is more dangerous and divided. The only time that the world became more dangerous and divided is the minute that Mark Carney showed up into our lives. We didn't hear that before he showed up, but he has to remind us on a daily basis. Plus, his French is absolutely terrible. Just wait till he tries to do the alphabet in French.
Les droits durement acquis des communautés de LGBTQI+, ne sont pas seulement menacés, ils sont en train de reculer à travers le monde. Le Canada n'est pas à l'abri de cette haine. Même ici, même maintenant, des jeunes et des adultes vivent encore dans la crainte d'être véritablement eux-mêmes. Au Canada, les personnes de LGBTQI+ restent sous-représentées dans notre démocratie et sont bien plus exposées à la violence au sein de leur communauté.
How did he do? I think he straight up butchered it. He should have just continued in English. But that's just my opinion. He didn't even do it properly. MP Leah Gazan's going to be furious with Mark Carney today. Not only did he cut the funding, but he didn't say the alphabet correctly. Now, the last time a prime minister got heckled like this, soon after there was a resignation. The funniest part is this is at his own Pride event and he's getting heckled.
Alors, c'est le moment. Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a pleasure. Le drapeau de la vérité. Ce n'est pas vrai. C'est pas vrai.
It's not true. It's
Il
not
y a
true.
près de 50 ans que le drapeau... C'est un moment... merci beaucoup pour ça, mais c'est un moment
Thank
de
you for
la
that.
célébration, c'est un moment de fierté. Il y a près de 50 ans, le drapeau...
My question is, are we going to see a lot more of Mark Carney getting heckled anytime he goes anywhere? I just find it ironic that he gets heckled at his own event. I absolutely love Lisa Raitt's commentary. Is the Prime Minister a yeller? Check this out.
I think it's important for a couple of reasons. I think it's important because you don't want to feed into a narrative that the prime minister is out of touch with real people. And if you seem to be punching down on others, maybe that can go in that direction. However, all that being said, may I just say, it is so refreshing that it's not the Conservative Party experiencing this. And number two, yes. I thought that Jen Gerson had the best tweet, or she had the best post last week when she said, you do realize that normal people think it's okay that you're yelling at Liberal MPs, which is true. You know, it's okay that he's yelling at them because they were, but for the grace of Carney go I, they were done in the last election. So the fact that they're
She should have gone even further and said, they're so incompetent. Of course it's okay for him to yell at these MPs. They're absolutely useless.
Whining about how they don't like Carney is just a bit rich, just another phrase I hate saying, because they're only there because he's there and he knows it. And it's okay. And I don't know. I think Tom Mulcair never yelled at his caucus, did he?
Lisa Raitt has some pretty good commentary. But let's not forget, my absolute favorite Lisa Raitt is this one.
I have this vision in my head of Mark Carney as the Pied Piper, right? He's got the flute and he's whistling all these people across. But in reality, don't forget, the Pied Piper, he attracted rats.
Leave it to you, Lisa. Kathleen, it's going to
That is such a classic. I love this one. And the Lisa Raitt Pied the Piper led to RPN creating this masterpiece, which I play at home on repeat because it is so good. Mark Carney with the flute. We're going to move on to Justin Trudeau. Check out this creep, because that's the only thing I can describe him. Look at him in the background. I mean, cringe level 1000%. What do you think about him standing in the background looking at her like this? Now, watch Justin Trudeau's hand slip down by accident. Or was it by accident? Check this out. I mean, right in front of the camera. You would expect that he would be a gentleman in front of the camera. Oops. I guess he didn't realize he was being filmed. And the icing on the cake is this video by Katy Perry explaining that Justin Trudeau is a rat.
Do you know the difference between a cat and a rat? Katy cat and a Katy rat.
Why don't you tell me?
You know how the light cannot exist without the darkness?
Yes.
And that we should just embrace our shadow self?
Mm-hmm.
The Katy rats are a little bit more mischievous than the cats.
Okay.
But that's because they have a good relationship with all parts of themselves, whether that is the nice or the naughty.
So now that I'm a Katy cat, should I aspire to be a Katy rat?
Maybe, actually. Everyone has a little rat inside of them. If you think you have no rat, then you actually are not even a Katy cat. So you have to kind of accept the rat to be the cat.
Okay.
It's all about balance, baby.
There you go.
I don't know about you, but that is extremely weird. I love to hear from you in the comment section. What do you think about the kitty cat, kitty rat? You are a rat. Okay, I'll be a rat just for you, Katie. Mark Carney on November 14th, 2025 said we're reducing the size of government by 10%. Today, June 4th, the public service will grow by 24%. The parliamentary budget officer just confirmed. That is a 34% swing. Here we have Melanie Joly confirmed that Canada is trying to strengthen ties with the EU again. US? Forget the US. We are all European.
For me to be able to work with my European counterpart, Stéphane Séjourné, and we're working on getting closer to the EU, making sure that we can create a better trading partnership, particularly at a time when we're dealing with a trade war. I also met with my counterpart from France, and we are also working on becoming closer to France, particularly at a time where we're dealing with the impacts of tariffs on both sides of the ocean. So looking forward.
What do you think, Canada? Do you want to become European, or do you want to strengthen ties with the US? 75% of all our trade goes down to the US. We can't replace them with the EU. And this is probably the most insane story I've ever heard. It's something you would see out of a Hollywood movie. A pilot flying thousands upon thousands of people over hundreds of flights never had a certified pilot license. This story is insane.
Project Icarus was initiated in late January 2026, subsequent to Transport Canada contacting the Fraud Bureau of Peel Regional Police with respect to a regulatory investigation it had completed into the conduct of an Air Canada captain. The police investigation focused on the career of the accused from its onset in 1998 to its completion in 2025. The accused flew initially as a first officer with Air Canada and in 2009 was promoted to the rank of captain. As captain, the accused was considered a pilot in command and was ultimately responsible for aircraft operation and safety during flight. He captained aircraft including the Boeing 767, 787, and 777, both domestically and internationally, and was compensated in alignment with that rank. The catalyst event leading to the investigation occurred in March 2025 at Terminal 1 of Pearson International Airport during a routine operational evaluation of the accused's credentials and performance. Anomalies were detected within the pilot license documentation he presented. The Transport Canada regulatory investigation later commenced, concluded, and was followed by this criminal investigation. The police investigation included a residential search warrant executed in Barrie, Ontario in February 2026. That was followed by other judicial authorizations, witness interviews, and subject matter expert input, including a forensic analysis conducted by our policing partners, the RCMP's National Anti-Counterfeiting Bureau in Ottawa. The investigation garnered evidence in support of allegations that indicate the accused operated as a pilot in command, a captain, of aircraft between 2009 and 2025 without having ever possessed an airline transport pilot license, aeroplane, known as an ATPLA. This high-level license is a requirement to operate the type of aircraft the accused flew at the rank of captain. Evidence also supports the allegation that the accused had not completed the associated and necessary Transport Canada examinations required to earn an ATPLA prior to or during his career. This alleged criminal misconduct also included the possession and uttering of materially altered and counterfeit government-issued pilot licenses and documentation. It is also alleged that the accused filed a false report to an area police service in relation to an event found to have not occurred through this investigation with respect to stolen pilot documentation. On June 1st, 2026, the accused, Mr. Jeff Wall of Barrie, Ontario, was arrested at 31 Division of Peel Regional Police. He has undertaken to appear for his first appearance date in Brampton on June 29th in relation to the following 7 criminal code offenses: fraud over $5,000, 2 counts of uttering forged document, 3 counts of possession of counterfeit mark, and public mischief.
That's it for today's report. Is Mark Carney's time as Prime Minister coming to an end? When Justin Trudeau started getting heckling, soon after we saw a resignation letter. What do you think about Justin Trudeau making headlines again? And the story about a pilot that was not certified and flew flights for Air Canada. This story is going to be a blockbuster in Hollywood. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. I'll see you on the next report.